Right, you lot. It's like one of those really bad apology videos. Right, you lot. Now, this is a video that I didn't perhaps want to ever make, but it's one that I had to, because the writing's kind of been on the wall for a while, and I like to be transparent. I like to be honest about what's going on. Unfortunately, after this upcoming Broadburn album, which I can now reveal is titled Lost Nostalgia, Lakhile will no longer be part of Broadburn. Now, don't worry, we ain't falling out. There ain't been some bust up backstage or whatever, don't worry about that. Explain all. Let's give some backstory. So, all the way back in 2021, I released a song called Be Stronger, which no longer exists on this channel, thank the Lord. Now, I didn't know what I was doing, and you could argue I probably still don't when it comes to music, so I hit up probably the most talented person that I know, and I go, Lakhile, do you have any beats and instrumentals? And in less than 2 hours, the legend that he is comes back with something for me, and of course, make Be Stronger. Two of us kind of had this collaboration, we became this duo at school, we were the Big L's. We did a couple tracks, and I changed the name to Broadburn because I didn't want to be known as the Big L for the rest of my life, really. We've done over 50 songs, 5 albums now, it's incredible. Now, most of the early stuff is trash, but that is in no way his fault, it's entirely on me. Like, 95% of the time, it was my fault, and the other 5% was Alfonso Archer, who was the engineer we used to have. It was never on Lakhile. Lakhile, of course, had his own music career. He did his own album, My Journey Through Faith, it was brilliant. And he was doing both his and my career at the same time, and that was huge. And it was tough, obviously, to have to balance that. And over time, a lot of people questioned, like, that there was clearly, I had no right to be working with someone that talented, and because he's a prodigy and I'm just some nobody, really. And people always liked him, oh, Lakhile, you're being held back, you should focus fully on your own. And most people who were selfish, or most people who would make the difficult decision to say, look, I can't do it anymore. But he really powered on to the end, really. And he wasn't getting much in return for this, because of course there were things in place that he would get a good share of any money that was made, or if we went anywhere, but we didn't get much further than school, so he didn't really get too much out of it, and he was only doing it out of the kindness and just the love for doing it. But after 4am Faults, I kind of saw the writing on the wall. When we went into working on Lost Nostalgia, Lakhile started a band. Well, he joined a band called Absolve the Apostle. They're this progressive metal band, and they're really sick, and they're doing some great things. They've been gigging this during the Easter, actually. And seeing him do that, it was like, well, now he's got even more that he's doing, and it's going to be very difficult to keep the balance. And to make the workload easier on him for this, I decided to split the album 50-50 between him and Reese, who of course goes by Reese Wise as the artist. Reese, of course, did all the engineering and the mixing for 4am Faults, and was pretty much most of the reason it sounded as decent as it did, to be honest. And most of the good things that were on 4am Faults were down to him and Lakhile, and about 10% me. Even by only giving him the 6 tracks, I believe it is, that he's doing, I can't remember off the top of my head, it was still that struggle. There wasn't the time, and I kind of made the decision and said to him, look, for your career, for the best for both parties, because, you know, I want to get this album out. I can't sit there for months and months and end waiting for stuff when he's only got small windows, and he can't keep pushing beyond and basically killing any time that he's got to do it. So it didn't work, it wasn't sustainable anymore. So that is why I've come to the decision that I have made, which was not easy for me to do because we worked so well together. I know how to do a good melody on the kind of stuff he does. I know how he works, and it's hard because Reese is a very different producer to Lakhile. He has a very different style, so it was weird to kind of get used to that, going in, writing melodies to that, and it was different, and it was exciting in a sense, but, you know, I think the difference is that with Lakhile there was a lot more less there was a lot more creative control on my shoulder. It was kind of the thing about he did it for me and then I had full control after. But I think with Ruth, what's really good is that he has a lot of ideas of how I can improve things, and some of the shouts that he's made during the forum process and during this one, it's really helped to improve it. So I'm very excited about this partnership going forward. And of course there are other people who I can call upon at times, but I'm not going to say any names because they're not set in stone. But I don't want to go all in and say we're going to go fully on Reese. So this is going to be a bit of a transition album with some Lakhile tracks, some Reese tracks. It's going to be maybe a bit of a disjointed album because of that. I'm really selling it before it's even come out. But yeah, I think it is exciting, despite all of that. Will this be the last you ever see me and Lakhile work for? Probably for the time being. Long in the future, maybe we could do some collabs and he could do the odd track or two, I don't know. If there's something that I really want to do, which Reese just isn't capable of doing, I can call on Lakhile possible in the future. But I'm not going to guarantee that. But what I do want to do is remaster some songs from the Lakhile era, improve the vocals, rewrite some stuff, and possibly do a remastered album or a kind of compilation with improved of some of the songs from those first 3 albums, which I think have some potential and we just didn't have the opportunity at the time to kind of give him that send-off, I guess, and to celebrate. So that is something we're probably going to look at doing back after this year, going into next year. So yeah, I will. So yeah, I hope you're not too disappointed. You might have only listened to Broadburn. If you did, you probably did listen to it for him. But the future of Broadburn is bright and his stuff is incredible. I'm going to link his channel, his Instagram for his band in the comments, so go check that stuff out because it's really cool what he's doing, and I couldn't be more proud because this is a person who did so much for me with so little in return, and he's such a genuine, amazing human being. I think that there's not many, he's someone who can always make any room happier. He's such an amazing character, and having the opportunity to work with him all these years has been so incredible. And like I've said, he had every opportunity to jump ship, and he stuck by me for as long as he could, and I'll never forget that loyalty. I will see you lot soon. Hope you see the next one's a bit more cheerful. Goodbye.